He should be full of confidence. The championship leader, Jamie Caroline, you may have noticed from that grid graphic there as Daniel was speaking, has got to start plumb last. 30th on the grid, got it all to do from there. Lando Norris, the 3-kart, leads it from 15 Anderton. The O-Plate Tictum, then Ahmed, Nui, Clay, Tailforth. Dan Zelos is 45.36. Bentley Ellis and the C-Plate Connor Hall rounded out the top 10. 58 in the middle of your picture there, that's Josh Smith, started in 13th place. They go down the hill and away from us through the double apex at the bottom of this hill. Should be line astern unless somebody's made a mistake at the top of the circuit. Earlier heat results on your screen now. The 3-kart, Lando Norris leading this one heat 1. Daniel Tictum second, Shanika Clay third. Clay with the fastest lap in that one. In heat 2 it was Tictum from Clay and Ahmed. Daniel Tictum with the fastest lap, 49.04 as he come through the left-hander at compression corner. C-Plate trying to make up a place, can't get it done. The third heat, it was Jamie Caroline from Lando Norris and Dan Zelos with Ryan Anderton the fastest lap. And in the earlier final, from which the grid positions for this race were made up, it was Norris from Tictum and Ryan Anderton with Tictum the fastest lap at 55.84. You can see the conditions are pretty miserable as Anderton makes his way through to the lead. Tictum tries to go with him. He does get it done, so Tictum through to second. Now Norris goes from first to third through the spoon, down the hill into the carousel at the bottom of the hill. So it's Ryan Anderton that leads it then. Coming through to fourth place is Harrison Newey, rookie in this year's championship, 14th in last year's British championships. So not a newbie by any stretch of the imagination. 58 Josh Smith there, started 13th, so he's made up a couple of places. Make that 3, he's actually up to 10th place currently. 24 kart with his number plate hanging off, that's Charlie Barlow, the rookie. Back with the leaders, those have come through the line one more time. You see how difficult the conditions are, not only for the drivers but the cameramen as well. Rain driving into the lens, from this camera position at least anyway, as the karts make the way up Dragon Straight into this fantastic right-hander that is turn 2. Great corner, blind as you come in, flat out. C-Plate Connor Hall makes up a place at the expense of the 36 kart of Hugo Bentley Ellis. Down the hill one more time. You can see from this camera position what the elevation change is like going from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill. I've seen kart circuits all through the UK, pretty much all of them, and in Europe as well. I've never seen a circuit that has elevation changes like this one here in North Wales. That's one of the reasons the drivers love it so much. Connor Hall makes up another place on Alfie Brown, the 18 kart. C-Plate Connor Hall, Welsh champion. Cymru, it stands for, the C-Plate. Won that championship down at a fantastic little circuit in South Wales, near to Cardiff, Landau. Great circuit down there, really friendly, great people running that. If you live near to Cardiff in South Wales, never done some karting before, make sure you check that circuit out, go along and have a go. 14 kart of Harrison Newey for Red Bull makes his way past Lando Norris. So Norris, second in the championship, drops down to fourth place. Newey through to third. Newey, a rookie in this year's championship. Clearly not without some experience though. 14th in last year's Coleman Cadet British Championship Series. He's in third. Norris is fourth, and Ahmed, Clay, Tailforth, Zelos and Jamie Caroline, the 38 kart you could make out there, is through to 9th place. He's come from 30th. He's made up 21 places, and we're still relatively early in this race. So Jamie Caroline, you can see him on the back of that little train there. He's in 9th place, just going to put through the start-finish line. So already made up 21, and it looks like he could be set for a podium here, the way he's going. Trying to repair some of the damage from the earlier final one, which was a point-scoring final. Where is he? There he is. He makes up 2 through the spoon, so that should put him, I think that's up to 7th place. Later in the race, still the 15 kart of Anderton that leads it from Norris. Then Harrison Newey, Lando Norris, and there is Jamie Caroline. He's up to 5th, so he made up another 2. So Caroline from 30th to 5th, 25 places made up, and he's got to be eyeing a podium from there. He's 5th as you see him coming down the hill. He's got a little bit of a gap back to the kart chasing him. I think that's the C-Plate Connor Hall. Lando's made his way back through to 3rd place. Harrison Newey there in 4th, the 14 kart. Caroline in behind them as they come down to the compression corner, the hairpin. Caroline getting much closer. It's got to be thinking about a podium here. This will be a fantastic result and a great recovery, rescuing some important points. He may give up the championship lead here because of the result in final 1-2. Lando Norris possibly, I think, the 3 plate. Lando Norris was last year's British Open champion, ran the O plate on his kart in the early part of this season, but it was Tictum that won the O plate up at Rowra recently. Harrison Newey up the inside of Lando Norris for 3rd place, and Caroline goes with him, gives Norris a cheeky push signal. Let's get after these in front. He's through to 4th, now has made up 26 places. I'm not sure he's going to have enough time to get to the 2 leaders. Anderton it is that leads it from Tictum. Tictum, who we interviewed earlier on, likes these conditions, he said, likes any conditions in fact. And is that Caroline through to 3rd? It is. Caroline past Newey for 3rd. Lando goes past Harrison Newey as well. So Norris is through to 4th. So it's Newey in 5th. The C-plate Connor Hall gets closer in 6th place. These 6 are well clear of the rest. And these 2 are well clear of Caroline in 3rd place. But the speed Caroline's showing, can he catch these? Has he got enough time? Not sure he has. But let's see. They could have a tangle, these 2. You never know. Later in the race, down the hill, the business end of the race, it's still Anderton through the carousel from Tictum in 2nd. We've got a back marker in the way, Sam Kirkpatrick, as they come up around the compression complex, the 3 right-handers, which leads into the compression hairpin. There is Caroline in 3rd, Connor Hall just in behind, the C-plate. Caroline is the fastest man on the track, not surprisingly. He's made up 27 places so far. As he come down past the through the final turn for the penultimate time. The leaders have made the way past Kirkpatrick. The 88 car in the middle of that little battle was Alex Stott. 71 in behind was Harwood. The leaders come up through turn 2 for the last time into the spoon. This is an overtaking opportunity, but Anderton defends, then left-handed down the hill. He'll probably go to the centre of the track as he goes to the left-hand side of the track. Tictum takes the normal line through the carousel, the double apex at the bottom of the hill, up into the compression complex. 3 right-handers. This is the first one there. Has a quick look over his shoulder. 2nd right-hander there. Looks like Tictum gets a bit closer. That's the 3rd one. Here comes the compression corner. Tictum gets closer under braking. Looks up the inside. Down Devil's Elbow. Contact between them. Shoves Anderton wide. Anderton over the curb. Tries to squeeze Tictum onto the grass. Tictum is on the grass. Over the curb. Contact as he comes through the turn. Tictum looks like he's got a win. Caroline through to 2nd place on the line. He will be delighted at that. But Anderton will be beside himself. Jamie Caroline, you can see there, absolutely delighted with his 2nd place. Have a look at the replay. There'd already been a little bit of contact coming through the right-hander there, Devil's Elbow. Anderton nowhere to go but the curb. Runs over the curb, tries to squeeze Tictum onto the grass. He's got 2 wheels on the grass. He's going to run over the curb. There's another little bit of contact, and then he's over the curb. That gives him the win. But the progress has been slow, particularly for Anderton. Anderton has a look over his shoulder, tries to squeeze Caroline on the grass. He does that, but Caroline comes across the grass and steals himself 2nd place.